Things are nearly back to normal after an overnight storm sent trees toppling onto streets and had water rising from creeks like this one. This was a bold crime in a very quiet subdivision. As a matter of fact, I'm told this is the bus stop where kids are picked up and dropped off every day. That I've been on air, as you can hear in the background as the situation is going off. That was gunfire. The man who was contracted to pick up mail for the United States Post Office. He was parked over there. His truck ended up right here. So we heard so much about Tressie, we decided that we should go in and see if she would show herself to us. So come on. Let's go ghost hunting. What I do know at this particular point is that they have made some progress in this whole thing. As a matter of fact, that's the 18-wheeler that was overturned. It has been uprighted at this particular point. 2 days, Jenny. Folks have been stuck here at the San Antonio International Airport. As a matter of fact, I'm talking to a number of people this morning who are walking over here to this arrival and departure board and finding out for the first time that they're going to be stuck here for a while. Cancellations all the way down the list, especially if you're heading into Dallas, and that's the way it's going to be. That's the arrival and departure board. Take a look at the line of these folks. When's the last time you saw a line like this?
2 people are down. I see them. Where's the lock? No shooter. I didn't see no shooter. But I did see 2 people down right at the altar.
Helotes police officer Robert Trevino is heavily armed and breathlessly canvassing Our Lady of Guadalupe Church. It's around 3:15 in the afternoon, January 11, 2012. There are calls about a shooting inside of the church.
Hi, I'm at Our Lady of Guadalupe Church in Helotes. I work here, and a bunch of people were running out of the church. It sounds like there was gunshots in there.
Inside the church?
Inside the church, ma'am.
I'll check this out.
Trevino and other officers continue the mind-boggling search for the person who took out 2 people inside the main sanctuary. Never seen before church surveillance video shows Serafina Castillo and her boyfriend Manuel Rodriguez dressed up and casually walking in with no signs of duress. His arm is on her shoulder as she makes the sign of the cross. The video stops and starts again. The next image shows the 2 dead at the altar.
Hi.
The officers move strategically because they are now inside of the church's sanctuary. They know 2 people are dead, but they don't know how they died. What occurred on the sacred grounds of this church isn't apparent until they finally reach the altar.
She started crying that day. This is the first time that I really feel him sincere, she told me, before she went to go see him.
Serafina Castillo owned Castillo Mission Funeral Home. Manuel Perez Rodriguez worked for her briefly. The 2 started to date. She confided the relationship to her daughter Myra, who says Rodriguez became abusive.
Every time I would try to call the police, she would hang up and tell me, no, please, because he has 2 children. I don't want, him to be in jail or something.
These bruises to her face and mouth were no accident. In fact, 10 days before her death, the 2 were in Hawaii. Police ordered Rodriguez to stay away from Castillo for 24 hours. Back in San Antonio, her 51-year-old boyfriend wanted to apologize to her in front of her children for his behavior. Castillo agreed, but kept her kids away.
He went to finish with all of us, but we didn't go.
But I did see 2 people down right at the altar.
By the time the police arrived at the church, the cycle of domestic violence had reached a tragic ending. Castillo had been shot 13 times. It was a deadly day at the altar. Marvin Hurst, KENS 5, Eyewitness News. Berta Bird, who was adopted, thought she was an African-American woman for 7 decades. That's until she started looking for her biological parents, and she found out a well-kept family secret, that she was really white. If you look through the pictures of Berta Wagner Bird's life in Newton, Kansas, it's a good one. She was the daughter of railroad porter Ray Wagner and his wife Edwina. Life was good.
I'm comfortable with being a black woman.
The couple adopted her back in the 1940s. She found out but never questioned her race. But her story of privilege and progress turned over a shocking page. At age 70, she found out she was white.
And I grew up not questioning birth or anything else because it was never told to me that I was born white.
Missouri adoption records show she was born Jeanette Beagle, the daughter of Earl and Daisy Beagle, Caucasian transients. Jeanette became a ward of the state after her father walked out on 10 kids and her mother fell nearly 30 feet in a trolley accident.
I wouldn't go back to my birth name if I had to. Jeanette Beagle does not fit Verda Bird. Jeanette Beagle does not have an education. Jeanette Beagle has no Social Security money because she never worked. She never even went to kindergarten.
And Verda Bird, who was ripped from her white heritage, has definite opinions about Rachel Dolezal, the former NAACP leader who chose to be black.
Why are you so upset with her?
Because she lied about her race. I didn't lie because I didn't know.
At the end of the day, Bird admits that she and Dolezal have made the same decision about race, just for different reasons. Marvin Hurst, KENS 5, Eyewitness News. When San Antonio firefighters arrived at 901 North Pine, the battle was evident. Children's Memorial Church of God in Christ was burning at an alarming rate. The flames, intense. The glow, almost nuclear.
We was coming home and we could see the fire from way on the north side of town.
Up close, the blaze was so incredible. All people could do is stare in disbelief. The historic sanctuary was crumbling under the weight of fire.
I just hate to see that church burn, man. That's a church that I've known a long time.
More than 1,000 are on the roster here. One by one, they showed up to watch the building that meant so much to them perish.
I didn't think it was this much. It was this like this. I just didn't think it was like this. It's just demolished. It's gone. It's gone. Part of my history, part of my life is gone.
This two-alarm fire fills the spaces where praising, worshiping, reaching out to the community existed.
It's a very sad thing for this neighborhood. That church has been there since 1908, and there have been a lot of weddings and a lot of funerals and a lot of baptisms and just a whole community of people, you know, going to church here, and it's just heartbreaking.
It was truly heartbreaking to this woman who dropped her grief into her hands. This place, so special to so many, is gone, but not forgotten.
Yeah, that's part of the East Side history, gone.
It is as if it was happening yesterday.
Paul Rusesabagina can't remove the horrific scars of the Rwandan genocide of 1994. 800,000 plus men, women, and children were killed in the civil war between the Hutus and the Tutsis, a battle for government control that boiled over with blood. He famously took in 1,268 refugees from both sides at a hotel where he worked. A 2004 Oscar-nominated movie, Hotel Rwanda, was based on the events.
We want to change that country. And to change this country, we need new blood.
Right before a speech to the San Antonio Bar Association, Rusesabagina sat down with us to announce he will run for the presidency of Rwanda in 2017. The 61-year-old is both Tutsi and Hutu. Rwandans will certainly have one question of the humanitarian.
Why should I elect the movie man to be the president of my country?
I think we should make a difference between that man behind the movie and the movie itself.
Peace, development, justice. That's what he's running on in a country of 11 million. He wants to change the country through his Party for Democracy in Rwanda. As he works the room of San Antonio attorneys, he does have name recognition, but there have been recent reports his heroic acts may have been stretched by Hollywood. His response, emotional.
I still do remember what I saw, what I went through in 1994. Always fresh in mind.
Marvinhurst, KENS 5, Eyewitness News.
I mean, there are some kind of sad things. There are programs for babies who died.
Matthew DeWalsh flips through a living more.
And there is one case of a murder-suicide, and we have both the murderer and the victim programs from both of their funerals.
The volumes evoke pain and pay homage to the dead.
There was one case where a young woman died in an accident, and her aunt died the following day of a heart attack. So
The Texana Genealogy Department at San Antonio Central Library is archiving the obituaries of African Americans.
And we thought, you know, this is an underdocumented segment of the population that really needs to be represented. So
10 years later, they have 4,500 obituaries.
Tuskegee Airmen and Negro Baseball League players and local politicians and doctors and lawyers and famous business people. But a lot of these are just average, everyday neighborhood people.
DeWalshy has touched every story, even people he recalls helping at the library, like David Edens.
We'd ask him how he was doing, and he would always say, fine, fine, fine. It was, you know, just kind of a local character from back home here.
The collection has turned into the largest one in the state of Texas, and the library wants more obits to add to this list of the lifeless. And for the man who has so many obituaries at his fingertips, he hasn't thought about his own.
Not really, and I hope it's not going to be for quite a while still.